There is nothing wrong with trying to find the best romantic partner possible on all levels: physical attractiveness, financial success, a specific look or hobbies, and so on. There's only one thing you need to understand if you have avoidant attachment style, or if you are someone close to a person who has the style. No matter how perfect your potential date may be, and even if you find your ideal partner, your mind is trained to look for flaws in others. This will become increasingly apparent during a long-term relationship, but it can also be seen in the courting phase. First of all, if you got this attachment style, you won't be seeking long-term relationships in general because you have fear of love and intimacy. Watch part 1 of this video for more theory, link in the description below. For today, it's going to be mostly practical, how to start helping yourself to improve towards a more secure attachment pattern if you are avoidant. Back to the main point, in general, you will be a serial short-term relationship seeker or one-night stand kind of person. As soon as you have an initial sexual contact with someone, you kind of lose interest immediately right after. The thought of seeing someone for a second time triggers fear of getting close. Meeting someone new would require texting them, planning a meetup, talking, having more sexual experiences with them together, opening yourself up to potential arguments or the person getting attached to you, you getting attached to them. All of this is basically more contact, more connection and intimacy with this person, and this is your deepest fear, getting close. And so you'll find yourself alone most of the time aside from satisfying your sexual needs. If you get into a relationship, most of your thoughts will revolve around focusing on what's missing in your partner. To answer the title of this video, you will pretty much never be able to find that ideal perfect person. This is not true for other attachment styles. Why is that? This is because as an avoidant, your mind has pre-established from childhood the view that the self is cool and everybody else is less than you on all levels. It's more of a narcissistic point of view. This has been ingrained into you since the first 2 years of your life. Because of this, when it comes to romantic relationships, this point of view gets activated. You slowly start to focus on the flaws of the other person. This usually starts when you first notice arguments, concerns, problems in the relationship that need conversation and collaboration to fix. Also, closeness and spending more time with someone will trigger your fear of intimacy, which in turn will trigger you to distance yourself from the person. Avoidants apply distancing strategies mentally by focusing on the flaws in their partners and slowly building unconscious resentment up until they break up with you, seemingly for no apparent reason. They just don't express their feelings or try to work things through. They keep everything inside and then it bottles up, it builds up, and they explode with a breakup at some point. The fear of intimacy is very deep, so deep you're often not even aware it's happening in your body. All you see on the conscious surface is just you doing things and thinking certain things. The main theme of these things is to create some or as much distance as needed to manage and release the fear. To answer the question, how can you find your ideal perfect partner now? If you don't have avoidant attachment style, well, it's good news. Just find the best possible mate you can based on your preferences and you'll be good. If you have avoidant attachment style, a lot of inner work needs to be done before you can get to that special person. In fact, you will keep on skipping and jumping from one special person to another until you actually sit down with yourself and do the necessary healing work. So the answer is you will never be able to find your ideal romantic partner. Why? Because every time you find that person, your mind is literally programmed to start focusing on the flaws in that person throughout the relationship. The next step in this mental programming is that your mind will generate thoughts along the lines of, quote-unquote, someone else might be better out there and I might be wasting my time with this partner, unquote. The truth is everyone is special in their own way. One thing for sure though, no one is perfectly perfect and super duper special than other humans on the planet. The avoidant, as soon as, and especially when the relationship starts involving some kind of healthy amount of negative emotions and arguments, they begin to think that there might be a partner out there who will never make them feel negative emotions ever. This is because they're used to suppressing emotions as their default defense mechanism against emotions, or as their default way of managing emotions. They just suppress and suppress. So they're always looking for positive emotions and someone who could make them feel good at all times. Someone who is godlike and only induces pleasure in the relationship. Someone who doesn't have concerns, only has positive emotions 24/7, never complains and always happy all the time. This is a big illusion you have as an avoidant. Clearly, it does not match reality. Also, your emotional avoidant patterns can be quite interconnected. More arguments and negative emotions lead to you focusing on the flaws of the partner, which lead to you breaking up instead of trying to fix things with your partner. It's your natural inclination to leave than to try to fix first. It can also start from you. You start slowly looking for flaws in your partner, even if there is none. These perceived shortcomings will begin to make you feel scared of getting closer to your partner. As you continue to think they are not enough in some ways for you, now your mind activates fear of intimacy, and from there, you either start cheating or distancing yourself, thinking there's probably someone better out there. All of this, just to understand, is not a healthy pattern of thinking. You will end up alone and miserable over and over again. Not in all cases, but in most cases, most of the people in their 40s and 50s, 60s who were unable to find long-term partners in their younger years usually have avoidant attachment style. Or it can be people with other attachment styles who were broken up with by an avoidant person. And again, the exception goes for those who divorced or if things didn't naturally work out. But the dating pool is generally full of avoidance because they leave romantic relationships all the time. They are the first people to leave most of the time, and they leave very quickly, very soon, sooner than you think. But what I'm saying is the majority of people who end up alone for years on end are those who have avoidant attachment style. How to find your perfect partner as an avoidant? The answer is becoming clearer by now, I believe. The first thing to understand is that your mind is programmed to perceive the self as better than others in a narcissistic way. You will be having thoughts even about your friends as you see them less competent than you on many levels. You see your potential dates as less than you, and if not, you'll try to mentally put them down somehow, especially after sex, after the first time you have sex. This is not constant, but it's the general view of how you see others. You put them down and raise yourself up a notch, always. Now, this is a problem when it comes to healing. You become narcissistic. And even if you find yourself struggling in life, you will try your best to fix things by yourself or suppress your psychological problems. Avoidance will rarely seek out therapy, self-improvement, self-development content unless they really feel an extreme need for it. Or if somebody breaks up with them, then they start thinking about themselves a little bit. Not always, but that would be one big trigger for self-improvement for them. They almost never ask for help also from their peer group. They have a hard time depending on others. This in and of itself will block you as an avoidant from doing the necessary healing and therapeutic work to get better, to treat others better. You don't see any problem with the way you are. This is the problem. Awareness is the first step. You may take notes from this video to remind yourself that you do actually have a problem. A very, very big one. Second, start writing down your thoughts, especially thoughts aimed at distancing yourself from your partner. Any kind of thoughts about cheating, breaking up for no reason, for maybe anger issues, your anger issues, running away, seeing flaws in your partner or friends, Every now and then sit down and write what you're grateful about in your partner and your relationship. Write the positive qualities of your partner and what you really like about them. This has to be done at least once a week, and especially after an argument with your partner. Remember that negative emotions experienced within a relationship will begin to trigger your attachment system. Fear of intimacy comes up. Now, when it comes to fear of intimacy, it'll create the sensation that you're being smothered, strangled, suffocated. You'll start judging your partner as needy or clingy, even if they're not at all, in reality. Of course, you could be partnered with someone who has clinginess issues. That's a completely different story. But here, focus on you. Even if you have that kind of partner, you can still use the opportunity to heal yourself thanks to their clinginess, to trigger yourself even more and heal your avoidant patterns. Because their constant need for reassurance will trigger your fear of closeness more, which will generate more symptoms you can track and heal. This is good. The issue here also, and the reason why your avoidant attachment style needs to be fixed, is that you're actually a magnet for dysfunctionally needy and clingy partners. This is because these people are attracted to their opposite. They're looking for something they don't have within themselves. This is what you have. The ability to cut everyone out and still be functional in life. Codependent people cannot. They usually feel more functional and complete when they are in a relationship. They can't stand being alone. You can't stand being in a relationship. So, if your partner is clingy, use the opportunity to let them trigger you so you can heal your patterns. Now, back to the main point. With fear of intimacy, you will start judging your partner as clingy, whether they actually are or not. It's just coming from your perception, most likely. And even if they are clingy, your perception of their clinginess will exaggerate their clinginess in your mind. What you need to do is track your judgments of your partner, do some daily journaling, and list out what you're grateful for about your partner, their good qualities, on a daily basis. What you're grateful for about the relationship. Set their clingy behavior aside and notice what is good about this person. This will help you to prevent these constant breaking up and leaving without actually even trying to fix or allow the other person a chance to improve themselves or even ask them to improve. You can also write down some principles that will continuously match your perception with reality. Continuously, for example, quote-unquote, the grass is not always greener with another partner. You will eventually find the same triggers that you have in yourself right now with your next partner. So, if you don't fix them now, you will have to be triggered again, and with the next partner, you will need to fix them. You need to do the necessary inner work, the healing work at some point. And most avoidants do not realize this. If you leave your current partner right now, especially if they are trying to fix, if they're narcissistic, psychopathic, they're not trying to improve at all, 0%, then yeah, you are better off alone. But if you are with someone who is positive to some extent, but they do have their own issues, why not try to fix with them? Allow them the chance to fix, to improve, like they allow you the chance to fix and improve. And you could do it together. You get triggered, you fight, and then you try to work it out again and again and again. And this is how you fix your patterns as well. And you learn from your own triggers and you grow as a person. You grow out of this avoidant attachment style, be it with therapy or with somebody who wants to work things out with you. If you leave your relationship, especially with someone who's trying to improve, you may or may not find someone else who is trying to improve, like this partner that you are about to leave right now. So better be with someone who wants to improve, right? But the problem is that your mind will look at any partner as the problem in the relationship, be it they are trying to improve or not. If they're human, if they have negative emotions, they have their own triggers, they express emotions, they fight sometimes with you, your mind will slowly start to see them as the enemy. This is the problem. This is what you need to be constantly aware of. And you have to constantly remind yourself of the good in this partner and really realistically ask yourself, did they start this argument because they want to make me feel bad, or because they're just human, they can get triggered as well? They have anger. Humans have anger, sadness, negative feelings, concerns, problems, and they are not evil. And my partner really wants to improve also. After each argument, they want to repair, they want to fix. Or they're completely narcissistic and I've been trying to chase after them to fix this relationship for months. That would be a completely different story. But just again, remember, as an avoidant, your mind will see everybody as negative and will try to make you run away even from the best of partners. So again, guys, you can write down these principles. What I just said, you can extract them as principles. Also, something else, another principle can be, for example, as I said, the grass is not always greener with a new partner. Also, it could be negative emotions and arguments are a part of me, part of life, a part of every relationship. It's not my partner's fault. So write things like this to remind yourself of the positive. Lastly, just work on not breaking up with people. If your record is to break up with someone after 2-3 months, couple of weeks, well, just give it a try, stay with that fear of closeness a little bit longer. Until perhaps at a certain point you will begin to realize that you can actually deal with this fear and it's not the partner's fault. And that you're not actually being smothered by romance, but that it's all just a perception, a point of view, a childhood trauma. Another thing you need to work on is to stop dismissing people's concerns. First, you have to train yourself to notice, quote unquote, oh, my partner wants to discuss a problem in the relationship. Because many times you can't differentiate between normal, happy conversation with your partner and when the conversation has switched into them expressing concerns and emotions seeking your support. Again, journaling and tracking all these misperceptions, triggers, misunderstandings will help you out a lot. Slowly, you'll build awareness around your partner's concerns, needs, problems, patterns and triggers, and practice giving support to them as well. As an avoidant, it's difficult for you to express emotions or concerns. Just start. 2 meditative practices I would recommend that can help. First, you can sit for a few seconds, 2 to 3 times a day, and just name how you feel. Try to identify how you feel and name it. Put a word on the emotion. This is called marking or noting. This simple exercise will gradually build up into a continuous awareness of how you feel at all times. Once you get to that point, you will begin to become aware of your emotions in general. From there, you can start doing the second meditation. This one is about fear of intimacy, wanting to run away and distancing. Sit with your fear of intimacy and closeness when it does come up. Or if you feel like leaving your partner out of the blue, stay with it. Don't act on it. Don't say anything to them. Just train yourself to stay with this difficult feeling. With time, you will realize that it's just a passing, temporary feeling, just like a car passing by down the street in front of you. It can be difficult at first, and you may give in many times. This is why professional help is highly recommended for someone with an avoidant attachment style, because your mind will trick you into leaving your partner, even if they are a good partner. Your mind will try to find every single possible way throughout the relationship to leave the partner. Really remember this. So anytime you have a stupid thought about leaving your partner, really let it go. Think about it, really think it through for weeks and months and talk about it with your partner. And they will help you understand and see that they are actually trying to improve, that they really want you to give a chance for them and to be patient with them as they are patient with you, with your triggers and your problems. Just don't give up and try your best to improve. Seek out support, professional help. I'm also offering a shadow work course that deals with fear of intimacy for avoidant people. This course is self-paced and it'll teach you how to build very strong and swift awareness of your inner world I also share in the Peak Transformation membership. In this course, it's included all different kinds of energy healing techniques, advanced shadow work techniques, shamanic healing techniques to help you with any kind of attachment style that you are struggling with right now, as well as anxiety, low self-esteem, all kinds of modern issues, anger issues in business, dating, and personal life. Check out the Peak Transformation membership in the description below, guys. If you like the journey, you would like other people to learn more about this stuff, then help me grow this channel with a comment and a like and a share with someone you know who has avoidant attachment style or anybody who's interested. Thank you so much for watching, guys. See you next weekend.